Well, gracious greetings, saints and family and guests. Welcome to another edition of Living Water for Thirsty Thursday. We've been talking about the ABCs of Bible study tools, and today we want to put a bookend on that, talking about, as you can see, dictionaries. We've already talked about Bibles and the different versions we can have. We've talked about commentaries and getting contributors from different various walks of life, if you would. And last week we talked about concordances, and today dictionaries. And so dictionaries, not a lot to go through with that because the dictionaries that you use for biblical studies is the same that you would use for any other everyday use. But I do have three different resources here. I'm going to start with Strong's because that's what we used last week as a concordance. And so the Strong's Bible Dictionary, it starts right off with what we talked about. It's an English index to the biblical languages. And just like we had last week, you saw Aaron, and it was that 175. And then it just goes alphabetically and gives a brief definition, but it also gives Strong's reference number so that you can look it up in the Strong's dictionary, which is also in this dictionary. So if we also go back to where we were last time and look up God yet again, like we did last week, we see God, but the different words for God and how they're used, and we can see Adonai there as well, Elohim, and then the different numbers. Jehovah, you see 3068 right there for Jehovah as well. And it just goes on and gives you all the different places that God is used and a little bit of the definition of God. So that is one portion of it. And then as you go back further in the booklet, it has the New Strong's Hebrew and Aramaic Dictionary of Words. And you go through that. That's the Hebrew words, which we looked at last week. And then towards the end, it has the Greek Dictionary of Words as well. So, and then it's just the standard of what we are used to seeing. It will have Strong's number reference, and then it will have the word and give a short definition of that word. And that's how Strong's does it. So Strong's is a good resource, but if you want to delve in a little bit further, you can get some that are not from Strong's. And again, just like we've talked about in the past, you want to go to the very beginning and get the publisher's preface and again read why they came up with this. They said it's readable, it's reliable, and it's contemporary. So and then they go into more information about it. But at the end of the day, we know we just get to a regular dictionary that we use all the time. So let's use that example that we've been using. Let's use the word God yet again. And we see there's the word God, but you can see the definition Elohim and others. It's much longer and it goes in much further. There's a lot more detail and it continues on to the next page as well. So that's one good reason to have multiple dictionaries. And then the last dictionary that I'll show you here is the Holman Dictionary, which you can see that. Holman Bible Dictionary. And it has those same things that we talked about. And I won't go through this. It even has the how to use this dictionary. It has the publisher's page. And then it talks about the contributors, as we have discussed. But it gives other little nice tools like this timeline and church history and all those types of things. It gives a lot more information, pictures through it. And then it just turns into a regular old dictionary. You just look up the word that you find in the Bible and you go to it. And so that is those resources. Now I know a lot of you like to do things electronically. And since you like to do things electronically, figured why not just take a quick look at a simple tool. I'll just give you one resource. And that one resource that you can use is called BibleStudyTools.com. And you see that. If you go to BibleStudyTools.com, this is the home page that you will see come up. And in essence, what you have here, you just click on Study, and you immediately see library. It comes up with commentaries, concordances, dictionaries, encyclopedias, lexicons, apocryphal books, Bible stories. All of those things are listed in here. So many different resources and tools all inside. So let's just click on commentaries, for instance, and you see Bible commentaries comes up. And when that comes up, look at all the different commentaries, and we'll get to some of them that we talked about here. The Holman we've talked about, the CSB we've talked about a little bit. As we continue, you'll see some others that look familiar. John Gills, Tony Evans, you've heard of him. There's the Matthew Henry that we've talked about as well. Schofield reference, a lot of you have heard of those. And so there are many different resources. Martin Luther's Bible history. So there's just different tools in there, and you can go through at a click and go through those various tools. If we click on Bible concordances, then again you get the Dave's Topical Bible, Strong's, which is what we've been looking at as well. And so again, you can go to the Strong's Concordance, and it's right there at a click, and you can move through those words as well online. So many different ways to do it. Just wanted to give you another resource electronically. Well, prayerfully, that helps you a little bit more with these Bible study tools that we have been discussing. Just getting those Bible dictionaries. Well, tune in next week as we continue this journey. Really going to be interesting as we transition. We are going to be talking about marriages, and so encouraging all of you as couples to be able to set some time aside to sit down, and we're really going to talk about some Marriage 101. And so you don't want to miss that. It will be a month-long series, and then the following month we will talk with the singles. So continue to make God proud in all you say, think, and do.